Hey everyone, and welcome back to the LEGO CPA, where today we are taking a first look at the Dune Atreides Royal Ornithopter, releasing on February 1st for $165. And I'm not going to get too deep in on the normal stuff that we've all probably seen in various other YouTube videos and other first looks, but today I really want to focus on my thoughts on this icon's set. And I know we've known about this set for a long time, for a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months now. And when this set was teased that we were getting a Dune Ornithopter, I remember I was through the roof. I was so hyped on this set. Talking with other LEGO buddies, it was going to be honestly potentially the set of the year. We were already calling it the set of the year for 2024 with this set, as Dune is just such a beautiful movie, and this machinery is so unique, so complex, so different than honestly anything I had really seen before, with the kind of the grasshopper, of course, ornithopter type look and those vibrating wings. Just such a unique aircraft that I was so looking forward to seeing this set in LEGO format, as it was a beautiful intersection of the two properties. But sadly to say, I am actually not a fan of this build here, unfortunately. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But of course, first off, I do want to give you the basics. This set is about 1,400 pieces, set number 10327. And it is, I do want to remind you all, this is an 18 plus set. Not very surprising that it is, but I do want to remind you, as most of my arguments as to why this is, or why this set could have been much better, is because it is an 18 plus set. I think that really hinges on this. And if they wanted to make a set that was more play scale for kids, make it an 8 to 8 plus, or a 10 plus, a 12 plus. So I think that's one of my arguments here, but we'll get into it in a little bit. Of course, I do want to give you the specs. We have a picture here with the specs. 31 inches wide, of course, with the entire wingspan, and 22 inches long. And I got my tape measure right here. I'll give you the length because I think the width is a little deceiving because it's mainly with those wings. But if I was holding it, it would look a little bit like this. This is how long it would be. So this is a very long aircraft. And I know if you're like me, you've seen the designer interviews with various LEGO YouTubers. You know what it looks like in someone's hand. But let's get into the kind of the nitty-gritty of why I don't really care for this set as much as I wanted to. It's the look. It's obviously the design. And as I was talking with some friends, I realized, and they kind of pointed out to me, put the words that I was trying to put in my own mouth, that it really is the design of this set suffered to give us the function of the wings moving. And if you've seen the wings moving, it is a very, very unique and very complex design. There's a lot of technic functions on the inside that allow the wings to move up and down. But unfortunately, it sacrifices the design, sacrifices the model aspect of this set, and I think hurts it very, very much. It doesn't look like it should in my mind. And I know there are several people that would echo this thought with me, and I don't want to knock on the designer at all, because from my perspective, I would imagine LEGO came to the designer and said, we need a Dune Ornithopter that has a fully functioning wingspan, wing articulation. And the designer said, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Maybe even the designer came back and said, it's going to come at the cost of some design aspects, some of that sleek curvature that we see with the Ornithopter. We're going to lose some of that for sure. And LEGO said, I don't care. I want that functionality. We need that functionality. Fans are going to clamor for that functionality. And unfortunately, I don't believe that is the case, because just like most things, when you buy most things for a collector's aspect, something that comes to mind is the light up lightsabers, the NeoPixel lightsabers. Unless you're someone that is going to spin those lightsabers around in an acrobatic or in a spin manner for videos, or just practice, or because you like enacting those moments, you like spinning the lightsabers in a really cool fashion, you're going to buy that lightsaber, you're going to light it up once, and you're going to put it on your shelf. When your friends come over, you're going to say, hey, check out this lightsaber. then you're going to put it right back on your shelf. You're going to show them for a couple minutes, and then you're going to shove it right back on your shelf. I have those myself, and I purposely did not buy the blades because I knew, I only bought the hilts because I knew I'm not going to show people, or I'm not going to use this that much. And I feel like this is very similar to what we see here with the Dune Ornithopter. I don't think many people 18 plus are going to be using this functionality that much. When their friends come over, when they make that YouTube video, giving the feedback, giving their review on the set, yeah, they're going to use it. They're going to make those swooshy sounds, maybe even they're going to make the wings move back and forth with the button, as we've seen from the designer interview. But they're not going to use that on a daily basis. What are they going to do? They're going to look at this set. I'm going to look at this set on a daily basis and think about how the design just wasn't quite there. So that's probably my main argument, of course, is just the design isn't there, unfortunately. We have some more pictures here. Of course, the wings fold back, awesome. The canopy opens up, I believe, just like it would. I can only imagine that's how it opened up in the movie. I saw the movie once, beautiful movie, loved it. Fortunately, did not see it more than that. And of course, these wing designs are, I believe they're new. I haven't seen them anywhere. I feel like they would be an Ninjago set if they were. And of course, the minifigs. We've all seen all the memes on the minifigs. We've got the Zendaya character right here. This character, they've got the blue eyes, look great. I like how their minifigs can be interchangeable because, unfortunately, with I believe Paul Atreides, you can crucify me in the comments if that's not correct. Paul Atreides, he's just got some generic face print and the generic hair, kind of unfortunate. And then this character here, the Jason Momoa character, looks good. I don't recognize that face from anywhere else. I wouldn't be surprised if they've used it already. And then, of course, the Baron Harkonnen fig with the very long cape. Like, bruh. So I told some friends that they're going to make a tall fig for this. And I think technically maybe I was right. It was a tall fig. But obviously it's just a normal size fig with the little stand right here. And then he has the long piece that, of course, goes up. But, I mean, that cape, that cloth piece is very impressive, I do have to say. I'm going to be curious to see how they package that, if they're going to just chuck it in the box like they sometimes do, or if they're going to give it its own folded up cardboard house like they do for some of the capes for the CMFs. So very curious to see how they put that together. And then, of course, we get the lifestyle photo here with this nice lady enjoying the tailpiece of the Ornithopter. Looks good kind of from farther away. I'm going to be interested to know what this looks like in person, because I know looking at these studio lit photos sometimes can throw it off, or just straight up render photos can definitely throw it off. But let's pull up a real, I shouldn't say real. Let's pull up the actual Dune picture and really see where the design starts to fail and where it actually has been better in some fan mocks. So right here, we've got the set itself compared next to the video, or next to the movie version. And right off the bat, you can see it really starts to falter up in here, right above the canopy, and even the canopy to some extent. They've got all those gaps, which, I mean, gaps they're going to happen, so I'm not too pressed on that. But right here, these pieces, those gaps are a little unforgivable in my mind. And then right when we get to the center pieces, that's where it's just horrendous. All these open areas where we should see that kind of ball joint aspect of the set itself, where it's just not there. It's not there for me. I'm not a fan of it. I do not enjoy it. I will not be getting this set at full price. Certainly not at full price. And then kind of the last thing, which mainly because we see the Dune Ornithopter in sandy and very harsh, bright environments. So it is never this light gray color. It's never that color. Maybe a slight nitpick on my part. I would have rather seen some weathering and or just some light sand pieces with this set, just because we never see a crispy, clean version of this. And I know you can argue with me, oh, well, that doesn't matter, because if it was clean, it would look like this. I know. I see this more reminiscent of the movie. So they're modeling it after the movie. And I would expect to see a movie-weathered version, like we've seen with other sets. The Bad Batch shuttle had those kind of paint schemes on it, whereas it wouldn't be what it looked like new. So that's kind of my thoughts on that aspect of it. And I did want to bring in some fan mocks as to, this is SciMox, SI_Mox. His build of it looks fantastic. Of course, I can't speak to what the actual functionality, or should I say the actual integrity of this set is. So that could have faltered certainly with the set. But once again, the ball joins in here from that would be sets like the gunship with the front guns. Looks fantastic. And I think the design of this is much more reminiscent of the actual design of the Ornithopter here. Of course, I think LEGO could have taken a design similar to this, made it a little bit more sturdy, as this does look kind of flimsy. And this is, of course, more of a play scale model as well. But they certainly could have done something like this if they... Obviously, they could have done anything if they wanted to. But unfortunately, from my perspective, the design of the Ornithopter is not as grandiose or as wonderful as I would have expected. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the Ornithopter. Are you going to get this right away? Is this a set you want to pick up? Or are you going to wait for maybe a sale because it didn't quite come out as maybe you would have expected? I'm super curious to know what all of your thoughts are, because once again, the set isn't what I expected it to be. I wanted more, and maybe I know I shouldn't. But I'm curious to know your thoughts in the comments below. Please let me know, and I'll look forward to interacting with all you, getting your thoughts there. And we'll see you in the next video.